Hello, Gemini. Welcome to your weekly intuitive reading. Sorry for the loudness that just went by. Welcome to your intuitive weekly reading. I hope that you're doing well. We're going to tap into your energy and bring through the message for sun, moon, or rising in the sign of Gemini. These are general messages, so take what resonates for you and leave the rest. What is the message for Gemini? What would be most helpful and beneficial for the Gems, Gemini? All right, I'm in a rare form today. Got a lot of solar activity, some large M-class flares, but a lot of geomagnetic radiation storms coming in. Nothing to be afraid of, just can affect our everything sometimes. You know, I've been sleeping a lot more and dreaming a lot more and eating a lot more. So my body is definitely preparing myself for some sort of energetic upgrade, which I think that we are all experiencing to some degree. All right, first card out. We have moving on. So Gemini, it looks as though you are also in some movement out of some... So I'm hearing the fog for some of you. There's a little bit of liveliness coming back into your energy field, or you're just moving on from a more denser, it's definitely, it feels like a fog, or just things have been decaying and slowing down, and your inner compass has been kind of, and this could be unconscious, this could be subconscious, but it is definitely your inner compass is directing you towards the light, towards the green, living leaves and not the dark brown, decaying leaves. So you're moving on. You're moving on from something. Some of you, this is extremely energetic. For others of you, this is physical. You're moving on from a situation that has just began its closure, its decay. It's no longer needed. It's no longer resonant for you. Sacral chakra. It no longer gives you life and passion and feeds you energetically. Sacral chakra. This could be a relationship for some. For others, maybe it was a passion project and that fire kind of fizzled out. And your creativity is guiding you towards something new and different. For others of you, this is moving on from old relationships that are just basically surface level relationships and there's no depth to them. Sacral chakra is also about how we connect intimately and deeply to others. So maybe you're finally ready to connect with others at a much deeper level, more intimate, more transparent, more vulnerable. It's freeing. Tell me more. What else do we have for Gemini? I'll tell you, this energy today, I'm definitely in this light and airy kind of, I've been channeling a lot of energy running through me, clearing a lot for the collective for sure, as well as my own ancestry. I think many of us are. What else do we have for Gemini? Anything else? Very interesting. Thank you. My hands were getting tired. Okay. Overall, we have solar plexus, which is Mars energy. Mars has just moved into Gemini. Okay. Mars energy, your will, your drive, also your self-worth, self-confidence, self-esteem. Oh. Wow. Okay. So you've been doing some shadow work, Gemini, whether you're aware of it or not, for sure. And you've kind of cut the cords or cut through something that it's been time to move on from. Slow and steady, baby steps. But it was really kind of sucking the energy out of you and causing discomfort, maybe even dis-ease. But the solar plexus energy is assisting you in moving towards something lighter, something more alive. And we have triumphant success with shadow. So maybe that was some downtime or just some darker time. It felt dark, it felt dense, it felt heavy, and maybe you found yourself being really tired or just kind of confused when you were in that energy. But meeting up with other fractals of ourselves, our shadow aspects of ourselves, and maybe you've met this through experiences or through other people, but these are aspects of ourselves that we don't like. But they're there and they exist, and they're meant to be brought to the light of consciousness, meant to be neutralized so that you don't have this feeling of good or bad within you. Definitely there's been a sacrifice here. So we're going to dive a little bit deeper into that. Lots of cards out here for you, Gemini. Where do we want to? Okay. Okay. And you know, the sacrifice aspect really just comes from the ego that has formed an attachment on something. And even the ego will form attachments on things that are painful and not pleasant, but they're familiar. I'm drawn to this card. She's in the lower half of her body is in some dark, muddy water. But the upper half, emerging from this dark water, she's reaching up to the sky, and there's a rainbow that is meeting her. So there's been some kind of sacrifice, but it doesn't really feel like much of a sacrifice at this point. Maybe it seemed like a sacrifice at the time, or while you're moving on, in the process of moving on, when we have to kind of detach and detangle ourselves from an old version of ourselves, or from another person, or a situation, project, job. Take what resonates for you. Maybe while you were in this density, it felt like a sacrifice. You were sacrificing the true essence of yourself. We have time lapse. So that tells me something right there. And, you know, everything happens exactly as it needs to happen. We stay in situations exactly as long as we need to stay in them for us to finally be comfortable enough with enough is enough. It's time for me to move on. I am no longer, I'm suffocating in this density. It's also important to honor the aspect of you that had you stay in the density. Probably the shadow aspect. Fear-based beliefs, most likely. Also very old karmic templates that we carry within us. They're passed down from generation to generation. Tell me about moving on for Gemini, please. Okay, let me just group these. Knight of Voices. You're moving on from, you have held back in expressing expressing something within yourself, the true essence of an aspect of yourself. You swallowed it. You swallowed your words. You swallowed your feelings. You swallowed your expression. You're moving on from that. Sacral chakra. Taking your power back. This could be a belief or just a way that you were, brought up, or social programming. Okay, 5 of Inspiration. So you definitely had the cosmic mirror playing down on you and probably bringing out aspects of yourself that, anything else? You did not care for. These are the parts of yourself that has a hard time finding the right words. And even when you do have the courage to speak up, the words don't seem to come out right. Gemini, you're all about communication, ruled by Mercury. What else am I feeling here? This could also be linked to a pattern of thought about yourself. I don't know what I'm saying. Like a self-doubt. So you just keep it in. Even though there's a bigger part in you that's like, yeah, let this part of yourself out. Let this part of yourself be known. Others around you, or someone very specifically, is mirroring this aspect that you have suppressed to you. And it could have at first done a number on your sacral chakra, because I'm feeling density here still. This is what you're moving out of. Triumphant success over, looping thoughts, negative self-talk, negative beliefs about yourself, the shadow, suppression. You may have crows, may have found that crows would follow you around as a messenger, kind of like, Gemini, where's your mind? What are you thinking? Because when you take those thoughts and they continuously generate, and then there's a strong emotion tied to them, you're creating that. The universe has nothing. The universe can do nothing but give to you what you are giving life force energy to. Oh. Okay. So you met your shadow, or you're meeting your shadow through that part of the journey. The 4th dimension is the dimension where we meet up with good and evil, right and wrong. And there's so much polarity in the 4th dimension, so much to experience. That is where our thoughts and our emotions generated create our experiences, and what we call reality, our experiences. The sacrifice here, and this just kind of makes me I think because I have experienced this myself in the past. The sacrifice in suppressing your innate wisdom and knowing and expression of your true nature, your true self, without holding back, without second guessing, without worrying about what somebody else is going to say about you or to you. You've sacrificed true teamwork with another or with others. So you either find yourself doing all the work and not speaking up, or putting up with things. And that's the thing, when we put up with something in life, it's just going to continue to feed more and more and more and more until at some point you're like, enough. Like, we start to blow. Overall, we have strength. So there's the courage right there that's needed, Gemini, to break out of this cycle, break out of suppressing your words, your truth. And it may have taken some time for you to get here, but this is where you're at. So we're at 15 minutes already, Gemini. That is what I have for you this week. Continue to go. Follow your heart. Follow your truth. Allow yourself to express yourself, all of yourself. Allow yourself to build connections that work together, where it's equal reciprocity, equal give and take. All right? That is the message for you this week. I hope you found this to be helpful for you. I'm sending you so much love. Take care. Bye.